In 2014, a man from Jackson, Michigan was convicted of sex trafficking several women, including a 16-year-old girl. He had used physical violence, fear, and crack cocaine to control and force them into prostitution. The women were dragged around southeastern Michigan and sexually exploited by strangers so their pimp could make a profit. An article in the April 2014 issue of the Ann Arbor Observer tells the story of a local woman who was sold for sex by her foster family. The first time, she was 10 years old. When she ran away, police brought her back to the same foster home, dismissing her stories of being sold into prostitution. But this kind of exploitation doesn't just happen to disadvantaged kids. Teresa Flores, an Ohio woman, was trafficked as a white, middle-class 15-year-old living in the Detroit suburb of Birmingham. Coerced by threats of violence against her and her family, she was taken from her home almost every night to be raped and tortured. Sadly, these stories are far from rare. Sexual slavery is hugely pervasive in modern society and has been for thousands of years. Bringing together my passions for raising awareness of human trafficking and for studying the classics, my thesis will be a comparative analysis of prostitution in today's world and the ancient Greco-Roman world. I will be asking the questions: to what extent are prostitutes slaves? To what extent is the existence of sexual slavery recognized by society? How does the perception differ from the reality? Why has society allowed sexual slavery to continue? And more specifically, why did the Greeks glamorize prostitutes as being more free than the average woman, self-assertive, witty, and rich? Why do we still continue to glamorize prostitution, like in the 1990 film Pretty Woman, ignoring the realities that most prostitutes are exploited by pimps? To answer these questions, I will be researching modern news articles of sex trafficking cases and learning victim stories. I'll be reading Greek comedy, fictional letters between courtesans, and scraps of papyri talking about the trade in prostitutes. My goal is to shed more light on this issue and its underlying causes to bring about a greater sense of awareness and public responsibility.